Imagine you look up at the sky during a clear day. What do you see? Well, if you're looking up during daylight, you'd see a pale blue sky and the sun, of course. And if you're looking at night, you'll see some stars and planets. These are the skies that the Earth presents to us every single day and night, and as Earthlings, we take this for granted, since these are the only skies we know. However, of course our planet isn't the only celestial body that exists. We've got 7 other planets in our solar system, and their moons, along with thousands of other planets that orbit other stars. I've picked out some locations for us to travel to, land on, and look up, so we can see what the skies look like at those other places. So in this video, we'll explore places within the confines of our solar system, planets, moons, and the views they provide. In the next video, we'll venture outside the solar system and explore the views given by extrasolar planets. But for now, in no particular order, let's travel to our first destination. We're going to start off super far away from the sun with Pluto, which I think has amazing skies. Landing on it, we observe that the skies here have a grayish, hazy appearance to it. This is caused by sunlight being scattered by Pluto's tenuous nitrogen atmosphere. We also notice that, more or less, the sun appears only as a very large, bright star in the sky. From the surface of Pluto, the sun has a magnitude of about -18.3. From the correct spot, and looking at night, we also notice Pluto's moon, Charon, is prominent in the sky. Because Pluto and Charon are tidally locked with each other, Pluto only sees one side of Charon, and vice versa. This has the effect of Charon being frozen in Pluto's sky. And at the correct time of the year, this can create a daily solar eclipse visible from some parts of Pluto. Our next destination is Metis, which is a tiny moon that orbits very close to Jupiter. I'm not sure many have heard of this moon, but in my opinion, it provides some of the most spectacular views in the entire solar system. Metis is notable for just how close to Jupiter its orbit is, meaning that when we land on it, Jupiter completely dominates the skies. Aside from the Jupiter-dominated skies, Metis also experiences a complete eclipse for about an hour each day when the sun passes behind Jupiter. From the other side of Metis, Jupiter's Galilean moons are visible. We can also see that Jupiter's faint ring is prominent in the sky, which makes sense considering that Metis orbits within the inner part of Jupiter's ring. Our next destination is a more familiar place, Mercury, which is the closest planet to the Sun in our solar system. From the surface of Mercury, the brightest celestial body in its sky is Venus. Both the Earth and the Moon are also pretty bright, appearing at magnitudes of -5 and -1.2 respectively. To an observer, the Earth and the Moon can actually be distinguished as 2 separate dots in the sky. Now all of this is pretty interesting, but the most fascinating aspect of Mercury's skies is the Sun. Mercury is tidally locked to the Sun in a 3:2 ratio, meaning that for every 3 times it goes around the Sun, it completes a rotation on its axis twice. This has the consequence that during a Mercurian day, the sun appears to rise in the east, stop, reverse for a bit, then continue west and set. If we observe from the correct spot on Mercury, we can actually watch the sun set twice. Iapetus is the outermost of Saturn's many moons. When we land on it, we see a consequence of this property of Iapetus' orbit. Out of all the rest of Saturn's moons, the view from Iapetus provides the best of Saturn's elegant rings. Let's observe an Iapetan sunrise. Notice how weak the light from the sun appears, of course because Iapetus is so far from the sun. Another interesting property of Iapetus' skies is that Saturn periodically eclipses the sun. From the surface of Iapetus, Saturn oscillates left to right, and every 15 years, Saturn lines up with the sun, causing a series of eclipses. For our final solar-bound destination, let's go close to home and explore the skies of our own moon. Landing on the near side of the moon, the Earth is prominent in the skies. The Earth also cycles through phases just as the moon does, but the phase of the Earth will be the inverse of the phase of the moon. What we can also do here is watch a lunar eclipse. Recall that a lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth passes in between the Sun and the Moon. So this is equivalent to a solar eclipse from the Moon's perspective. Because of the Moon's inclined orbit around the Earth, lunar eclipses do not happen every month. But when these eclipses do happen, it provides quite a spectacular view. The solar system objects that we've explored in this video are just a few of many that provide spectacular skies, and if you're still watching up to this point, I would encourage you to download Celestia, Stellarium, or Space Engine to explore some of these worlds yourself if you're curious. In the next video, we'll depart the solar system and explore the skies visible from extrasolar planets. The main thing to notice there will be the change in stars and constellations, and we'll also try to locate our own sun from these planets too. Thank you all for watching, and clear skies.